Okay, friends, so here's what we're starting with in this pantry reorganization. And I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing as I look at this. How did it get like this? I mean, you were with me when I redid this pantry not long ago. But I'll tell you what happened. What happened was prepping. And I did not set up a really good system. I have everything that I need, but I place stuff that I don't use all the time in places that they shouldn't be. I place things that I do use all the time in the rear, which meant I had to pull things out, push things back too many times. And even though I'm pretty good, not perfect, at putting things back, the family, if you don't know where to put it, then they don't know where to put it. So they just put it in the pantry. So today we're going to take everything out. And I'm going to try to set up a system that makes it easier for everybody. So I'm thinking of putting the things that I don't use very often at the very, very top. The things that I do use sort of often in the rear. And the things that I use every day in the front. If you saw my video from yesterday, I also purchased a couple of new containers to add to the mix. And I also have some more labels to put on. This is difficult because although I have space and we've been using it to put other items like bathroom tissue, paper towel, cleaning supplies, medical supplies, that kind of thing, I don't feel real comfortable with putting my food there. So I think what I'm going to have to do if I'm going to continue to prep, and I am, is to buy some of those food grade containers. That would make me feel a little better about putting really bulk items. And if I get them large enough, I could even store my bulk items in the glass jars, which would make me feel even a bit more safe. And I also have, as suggested by my YouTube sister Denise Jordan at This and That with Denise, bay leaves in a lot of my my food here. So now I would also do that in my food grade storage. So that's what I'm going to start looking into next, because my pantry here and my canned good and other food items are in another cabinet. So this is just, spaghettis and stuffings and sugar and pastas, and so I have to be careful how I store those. But at any rate, we're going to try to make it better until we get the food storage containers. And the door has stayed perfect. No issues there, as you can see. But it's inside, and we're going to make it better. That's what we're going to do. Now, let me first explain to you that it's a rainy day, cold and rainy. I am multitasking. I am also conditioning my hair. So you're going to see my hair wrapped in the terry cloth head wrap. But, I mean, who does this kind of work all dressed up and made up in heels? Not me, not this girl. So real life about to go on here. So come on in, and let's try and fix this pantry. As you can see, guys, I have a little help. Hubby's here today, and he decided he would help me pull the stuff down so I wouldn't have to be up and down on the step stool. When I start cleaning, though, and putting stuff back, because I'll be making decisions as I go, I will probably be up and down on the step stool. But it's nice to have some help. I appreciate it. Thanks, Lando. Okay, friends, as you can see, Orlando helped me take everything down. Now I'm going to get up on my step stool and wipe it out, even though it's pretty clean. I just recently did this. As you can see, or maybe you can't, let's bring you closer. I left a few things up that I know are going to go on that top shelf, and these are things that I don't use very often. Can you see in that corner? Okay, so I left a couple of things up there, and that would be my baking soda, my oatmeal, and an extra powdered sugar, because as you can see, I have a powdered sugar on the door that I can use from. So that is overflow. Also in that corner, I have papers that I don't use often, like parchment paper, wax paper, saran wrap. I don't use those very often. The aluminum foil that I do use daily or often is in another place that you'll see soon. So I'm going to wipe these down, and then I'm going to figure out a new system. So all 3 shelves are empty. I need about 2 more shelves is what I need, but we're going to work with what we got. Okay, my friends, so we are putting this stuff back. I'm moving you a little closer so that you can see. In the back, the rear of the shelf is my overflow. I started out trying to keep it behind the one I was using. That didn't work on the second shelf. It took up too much space. So since I'm not using it right away, it's up top. Out front are things that I do use on the regular. And now we're going to get to the second shelf, to things I use, second and third shelf, to things that I use daily or almost daily. But I think that this is going to work better. But now that I look up, I see those 2 boxes of mashed potatoes. I'm going to put those in a plastic bag and add some bay leaves as well, because I don't know when I'll use those. I actually use real potatoes, but you know, we are prepping, and there may be a time I don't have real potatoes. So I'm going to put those in a plastic bag, like I have the elbow macaroni up there with the bay leaf. And then we'll move on to the second shelf. I've got help today, so I'm turning the camera on and off. And also, I'm using my Cricut Joy, and it's down here in the kitchen. In order to use it, I have to use my phone. So that's why everything is not being videoed. But I am really loving that Joy. What I'll have to do next time is set the camera up so that I can use the Joy with my phone and you can see it all. I'm learning with that as I go. But this is where we are, and we're going to keep moving, okay? Okay, friends, this has been quite a job. Didn't think it was that big, but I had to print labels as I was going as well, so you can hear Orlando in the back making noise. He's putting crackers in another container for me. But the top shelf, as I said before, it's overflow. See all that spaghetti up there? And brown and yellow rice. We eat it and I can get to it. It's up front, but it's not an everyday thing. Light brown sugar, not an everyday thing. But then you come down to the second shelf and we've got nuts, we've got grits, we've got white rice, we've got all my pastas that are not overflow. Vegan pastas and regular pasta and croutons, and in the back there beans, things that we use quite often. Macaroni, spinach, fettuccine, stuff that we use. And then when we get here to the third shelf, I finally invested in a couple of these. So here I have my vinegars and oils, and here I have, started out as just syrups, but I also had some apple cider vinegar that needed the space in it. I had the space, I put those in there as well. But yeah, we got a lot of syrups. And so, you know, we had that big snack basket. Well, I moved it down here, and I think that's going to work better. At least we're going to try it. Then I have potatoes and onions next to that. And then next to that, I have spray oils and olive oils and other oils. And so now what I'm about to do is get into these drawers and see what we have there and on the floor. So I'm going to be going through the drawers and taking out what's not necessary. Here are my, as I said before, aluminum foils, Ziploc bags, roasting bags. And then I have the bags that I bought yesterday for my sealer. I have some stuff I need to seal, so I got to straighten that out. And then I have a snack drawer here. Got to see what's in there. And then I'm going to go on down and take all this stuff out that's on the floor. And I know some things are going to end on the floor because that's just what's going to happen, but I hope it's not as much. So that's the next step. But I'm kind of pleased with especially this third shelf. I can get to my cereal real easily. You know, people can, and I, when my grandson's here, we can get to the cereal without moving all these big, heavy glass jars. My grandson had trouble with that. And so did I sometimes. So he can get to snacks, and cookies are right there, and more snacks are right here. Things are at eye reach. In the back there, I have an overflow of salad dressing, ranch, and some lemon juice. And I'm looking up, and there's just no place up top to put it because I didn't want to sit anything on top of the popcorn because we do pull that down quite often. So, but I was trying to use all of that vertical space because you see I still have vertical space up there. And I think I did pretty good using it. And here on the second and third shelf, I don't have quite as much vertical space, but I think it looks a lot better than it did before. And the whole thing is that I did not have a good system. As I always tell you guys, get a good system that works for you. And the system that I had was not working for me and my family. So hopefully this one will work better. So we have Ritz crackers back here. And we use a lot of those because, you know, I make a lot of soup and stuff. And we have 2 of those. And they fit perfectly in there. And they were able to stay in the sleeves. Now the saltines, they don't have a label yet, so I'm going to make one more label for the saltines, and then I'll sit that in here as well. And we had to take those out of the sleeves, but that's okay because it's in those really good containers, food containers. And guys, you wouldn't believe it, but these little teddy bears here that I kept, they both had, I want to say, animal crackers when the kids were little. They really keep things fresh, and I just think they're cute. I know they take up more space than if I would buy new containers, but I just think they're cute. So I've been holding on to them, and I'm not ready to let them go yet. So yeah. So now I'm going to go into the drawers, and we'll see what's happening in there, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I have gone through the drawers. I'm going to have to change this a little bit because I have another basket that needs to go down here, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. I may hang my potatoes and onions someplace over here, but for now, this is the snacks. My English. These are the snacks. I have 2 of the small containers there, and then I have one back there. Those chocolate bars, I don't even know how my husband got these. Anyway, he brought all those chocolate bars home, and now I give them away every chance I get. But back there, and as you saw, I have water here, and down here I have paper plates, napkins. Thinking about finding someplace else to store that, because then I wouldn't have that trouble with my onions and stuff if I had this extra. But right now, I can't think of any place else to put that. But I'm still thinking. I'm not quite done yet. Here I have straws and tops to cups. As you notice, I carry around a styrofoam cup all the time. I like them because they don't sweat on my furniture. They keep things cold. They don't cost a fortune. I change them out when they get old, because usually there's nothing in it but water instead of those expensive water bottles. I have them. I just prefer the styrofoam cup. So those in straws. So those are down there. If I can just do something with this drawer, that will make my life a whole lot easier. But that's where I am now. I'm going to sweep this out while I think. And we're about to close this down, guys. Yeah. Back in a bit. Okay, friends, so I did find a way to better utilize this drawer, again, for overflow. So that worked out well. Now I'm just going to sweep it out. And I'm thinking, I'm going to put some things back here on the floor, but I'm thinking that this big box of Capri Suns, my husband can put in our overflow. So worried about them going there, because they take up a lot of space. This case of beer was bought for Christmas. Neither one of us really drink, and I don't know, I guess we thought we were having guests. We forgot that there was a pandemic. So that can go in overflow as well. Well, he may have 1 or 2 for Super Bowl Sunday, maybe. But that can get out of my way. We have an extra soda. I do drink those. It's actually fruit punch. We have an extra juice. And we have a large veggie oil. And guys, even with that still there, I think we did great. What do you think? So that's the bottom. I'm going to take you up again. Sitting on top of my shelves. These are oils and spray oils, potatoes and onions. First shelf, we have things that we use almost every day or often. I'm loving these. Should have invested in a couple a while back. And even though like the saltines are behind the snacks, I can see them. I can see my Ritz, and I can see my cookies. So that works. Next shelf. You saw that already. There's space again. And the top shelf is all overflow. And I can say that I have room for more prepping. However, I like this system. I hope this system works for me, and if it does, I can begin to add overflow behind these here on the second shelf. Pull those out to the front. This shelf I can't really do a whole lot with. My everyday shelf I can't really do a whole lot with. But I could add some overflow if I were to buy other things or new things back there. Uh, yeah. Like I said, I didn't have to do much to the door. But this right here is a breath of fresh air. That was just driving me nuts. In a minute, I'm going to show you all of the trash that we got out of there. So hold tight. So friends, that bag there is the trash that came from the pantry. It's mostly boxes of that I have since poured into different containers. I only had 2 expired items. Everything else was fine. Um, but yeah, this just shows how much space those boxes can take up. So that's the trash from the pantry. Moving right along. So friends, I'm winding down. I'm sweeping up the floor and cleaning up my kitchen. It was a long day, but it was a productive day and I enjoyed it. So I hope that you did as well. I hope you were inspired with me going through the pantry. And I'm going to say this again. If you choose a system that does not work for you, it will not last. You will not keep up with it. It is very important to find a system that works for you. And I hope that's what I've done today. And I hope I've inspired you to do the same. But it's all trial and error. You try one system. If it doesn't work, try another until you find yours. And it's like, bingo, this is it. Well, if you're new here, and this is your first time visiting this site, I'd like to say hit that subscribe button below, and once you do, hit that bell so you'll be notified of all upcoming content. It's a lifestyle channel, and we do everything from, as you can see, organizing, cleaning, shopping hauls, seasonal decorating, and anything that has to do with home and taking care of your home and your family. So for my new subscribers, I want you to know that I see you. I see you, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to join our little family here, and I hope that you will be inspired and have a good time as well. And for my ride or dies, you know how I feel about you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I am so grateful that you've decided to take this journey with me. So here I'm just showing you the final look at how everything turned out. As I said, I think that I found a system that works for me. That's an empty container there. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, so I just set it there. But everything else is in use, and things are in place, and we'll see how this works. I hope it does. And with that said, I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to remind you to find something today that brings joy into your life. Not just happiness, but joy. And with that said, I'm going to leave you the way that I always do, with lots of love, with hugs, and with blessings. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.